Alright, I'm gonna do a video. The other day I came back over, saw this one log that I had. I'd done debarked it and it sat here for a couple weeks. So I took the one blade off and put a brand new blade on and made a pass about halfway through the log and my blade popped off. So I was able to get the blade back out. It bent it just a little bit, about a 45-degree angle in one spot. And I was able to flatten that back out and get it straight again. So I put that blade back on, which is this blade here. Finished cutting that slab off and started on the second slab. Actually, I was cutting 4/4. Made it almost to the end. And I don't know if y'all can see, the first time it came off, it bent it somewhere in the blade. Second time it come off, I don't know what the odds of that ever happening. But as soon as that weld came out the back side of the log, that is where it bent. Right in the weld. You can rub your finger over it now. I don't know if y'all can actually see the crack. Or it's not really a crack, it's just a bend mark. And I do welding, steel work and stuff. And I know that once you bend a weld like that, that's pretty much done. So there's a $25 piece of blade for something. I'm not going to run it. And I should have stopped, and I checked it out and I'd seen where my teeth was further back on the wheel. Here I had a good bit sticking out the back. Right now I have not quite a 16th, maybe a 16th. My outer pulleys, the blade was out at this first ridge right there on that little ridge on the roller on both sides. And then my teeth was right back to where the wheel was almost just barely past that gullet there, just a little bit. And I should have stopped anyway. But it was getting ready to rain, and I just figured I'd take it easy. So when it came off the second time, I was like, okay, I don't have that kind of money. I can just be throwing $25 down the drain every pass I make. So I readjusted these, which these are from Cook's Sawmill. So the only thing I had to do was loosen this nut right here, and then that nut, and then there's one on the bottom and one on the other side. So I'd loosen these two nuts here, loosen the bolts up, tap this out. And when I originally set this thing up, this first edge that the blade comes into contact with, it's actually sitting in there. That's dramatic, but it's sitting in there at an angle. So the blade only makes contact with this first part of the roller. The other side over here that actually has like a very small gap. So it's kind of like towed a little bit, which is how they said to do it. And then this one here is the same way. The toe is on the entrance side when the blade first comes into it. So I got both of them set now. I did order another belt. I was running a B104 originally. I switched to a 102 because I put the smaller pulley back here because I was having flutter. I still have some flutter, but I did switch to a Gates belt. It runs a lot smoother. I just can't get this belt so tight that it just takes all the slop out. This was the pulley that I put on it because of the flutter. So you can see it's probably 5/16 smaller on each side. I think this one's like a 5 1/2, 5 5/8. This is like a 6 1/4. And I used that formula off the internet to get my speed. So now it's back running a little over 5,000. It's right at 5,000 feet per minute. So now it really cuts really good. That's the reason why I'm not going to use that blade over there. I'm afraid it'll break. I mean, it's one thing to have one just break on you all of a sudden, but knowing that you have one that's ready to break, I just soon not. So, but I just wanted to let everybody know. So what I did on my bearings, each one of my pillow block bearings, I've got these nuts welded here that are red. They're welded fast. This is just a jam nut. Bolt, the other side is the same way. Bolt, just a nut, or just a jam nut, and then that nut's welded. That's to keep that bearing from slipping and moving this way because it's under such pressure. Now the inside bearing is set up the same way, just like this one. So I loosened this bearing up, these bolts up here, and what I wanted it to do was twist like that. And that's dramatic. I mean, it was just a little bit that I did that to. So I loosened these two bolts up here, loosened up the jam nut, back this bolt off. I think it was no more than a half a turn. And then I tightened this one up and did the same thing on the other side, and then just spun the whole system with my fingers to see how it would track. So now what I'm going to do now is get in the habit, before I start sawing with the guards closed and everything, is look down there at that pulley, see where my teeth are riding at. Make sure I do have a good gap, that I've got solid blades in front of my wheel, and check my idlers, because they keep your blade from popping on off. I don't know if y'all can see the gap in there. That's all the gap I have, so that's as far back as that blade will go. And I just wanted to put that out there, that happened in case anybody has any issues. So now I'm just will be watching it really good to make sure something didn't happen somewhere. But it could be just running faster now. It showed its head with this new belt also. So I just want to put a video together of what happened in case somebody else goes through that. Maybe it'll help somebody else out. So hope y'all liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to the ones that have, thank you, and I really appreciate it. And y'all have a good day.